Hello, this is Danielle Yawowiecka with the BBC News. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has returned to the presidency of Brazil, promising sweeping reversals to the policies of his far-right predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro. The left-wing veteran said he would reunite a country riven by inequality and restated his aim to make Brazil a green superpower by reducing deforestation in the Amazon.
Somos responsáveis pela maior parte da Amazônia.
We're responsible for most of the Amazon and the vast biomes, large aquifers, ore deposits, oil and clean energy sources. With sovereignty and responsibility, we'll share the forest's greatness with humanity in solidarity.
By tradition, the presidential sash is handed over by the outgoing president, but Jair Bolsonaro had already left the country, as Katie Watson explains.
Jair Bolsonaro abandoned his final duty as president and went off to Florida, but instead he was handed the sash by a woman who is a litter picker. Alongside her was a disabled influencer, a 10-year-old black boy from Sao Paulo, as well as an indigenous leader. So it was all about representation and inclusion, and I think that's an image that will really endure, because these last 4 years have been pretty difficult when it comes to inclusion and diversity. So I think that was an image that certainly Lula wanted to project.
The authorities in northern Mexico say gunmen have attacked a prison in Ciudad Juarez, killing 10 guards and helping at least 24 inmates to escape. At least 4 prisoners were also killed. Juarez, on the border with the United States, is a major drug trafficking hub. The mayor of Kiev says debris from a destroyed Russian drone has fallen in an eastern suburb of the Ukrainian capital, wounding at least 1 man. Air raid sirens sounded just before midnight local time, warning of possible airstrikes. The regional governor said that Kiev region was under threat of further attacks. The Taliban in Afghanistan have angrily rejected accusations by Islamabad that militants attacking Pakistani security forces have their hideouts inside Afghanistan. The Taliban Ministry of Defence said recent statements by the Pakistani Interior Minister in this regard were provocative and baseless. Amber Hassan Etirajan reports.
It's thought to be the strongest reaction yet from the Afghan Taliban on Islamabad's accusations. Pakistan's Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah on Saturday warned that if the Afghan authorities fail to act against insurgents from Tehrik-e-Taliban, also known as Pakistani Taliban, then Islamabad would target them. The Afghan Taliban said they were prepared to protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of their country. Tensions are escalating between Islamabad and Kabul following a series of attacks by Islamist militants, particularly in the northwest of the country bordering Afghanistan.
BBC News. The authorities in Indian-administered Kashmir say that unidentified armed men have shot dead 4 civilians. They said the assailants targeted people in 3 different houses in a village in the district of Rajouri. 7 other residents have been injured. Security forces have launched an operation to find those responsible for the attacks. It's not clear why the civilians were targeted, but the casualties are from the Hindu community. Colombia and Venezuela have fully reopened their shared border, with private vehicles now allowed to join cargo on the Atanasio Girardot Bridge. The crossing near the Colombian city of Cucuta had been closed for almost 7 years due to diplomatic tensions. These began to ease following the election of the left-wing Colombian President Gustavo Petro in August. Novia Criollo, the mayor of Andrés Bello municipality on the Venezuelan side of the border, said the reopening would renew friendships.
The former brotherhood is back, and it's what the Venezuelan people want. That Venezuelans come through with vehicles, that they enter Colombia, because there are many people who have relatives on the other side of the border.
Syria says Israeli airstrikes on the capital Damascus have put the main international airport out of service. In a statement, the Syrian army said 2 military personnel were killed in the attack. State media says airstrikes also hit other parts of Damascus. There's been no comment from Israel on the claims. An anti-corruption watchdog in Somalia has accused the international community of endorsing government graft in the country. In a new report, Markati said that as foreign donors pay for up to half of the federal government's budget, they should demand accountability. It said that millions of dollars of aid money goes missing every year and that about $100 million worth of donor funds hadn't been audited in the past 2 years. Somalia regularly tops the list of the world's most corrupt countries. That's the latest BBC News.